So just not making any judgments, just noticing the breath entering the nostrils and leaving the nostrils. Not forcing it, not pushing it, just noticing it and just letting your mind gently rest on it. And today we've come up to the throat chakra, which is called the Vishuddha, which actually means in Sanskrit purification. So it's sort of the place of purification. So, and the energetic job of the Vishuddha chakra is to guide us towards authentic self-expression. So, of course, it's to do with speaking our truth, listening, not only speaking, of course, it's listening. It represents clarity of communication and integrity of speech. So when it's in balance, our words are in harmony with our values and actions, and we express kindness, empathy, connection, and connection with our words. So if you just visualize that at the throat area, or just feel into the throat area, and the color that represents this area is a really beautiful sky blue. So it's quite nice during the practice to just keep our minds in that area, in the Vishuddha chakra, to visualize that blue, beautiful sky blue color. And just notice what's going on there. So it's really sort of the bridge between our heart and our mind. So it's where our form of self-expression comes out. So if we're true to our heart, we can express with our mind, come out of our center of communication. So we're just going to really bring our focus into that throat center. We're going to start off with a breath, which really brings our attention here. And it's actually called the hummingbird breath. And it's sort of quite funny, but it's actually really good. If you're a bit nervous about, say, you're having an interview or you're doing some public speaking, or even it's a real amazing stress alleviator, it's bringing our attention completely to the throat. And I'll just demonstrate it to first off. We actually block our ears. So we actually sort of make little fists and block the ears with the thumbs. And we inhale, you know, when you're sort of falling asleep, you might do that sort of almost snoring in the, so you sort of go like that. So you inhale, really feel it in the throat. And then as we exhale, we have our eyes closed and our ears blocked, and we just hum the breath out. So I'll just show you. So we go. So to the length of the exhale, we just hum. So don't worry what anybody else thinks, what anybody else is doing. Just do that and really listen and feel the reverberation in the throat. So we're going to do that 7 times, okay? So you can keep count yourself, and then when we finished, we just can keep the eyes closed or half gazed, just bring the hands down to the knees and just notice what's going on in the body. And this will just make a really great connection with the throat that we're thinking about today. So let's just make the fists, place the thumbs in the ears, close the eyes, and we'll just start off and just count to yourself 7 times. So inhaling. So just maybe noticing the resonance in the body after the humming breath. Sometimes feel a lot of energy moving around in the body. Just come back to the normal breath. And just let everything settle. So keeping your mind during the practice on that spot, where hopefully our authentic self-expression is seated. And just feel the sitting bones on the ground now. Feel that nice lengthening in the spine, groundedness of the legs. Let's change the cross of the legs before we start warming up. Let's bring the other leg in front. Remember, you can always bring the legs out if it's feeling more comfortable for you. In fact, I'm going to turn around to face you still. That's better if I do that. So let's just drop the chin to the chest and just notice there how we just sort of lock that area off when we drop the chin to the chest. Just breathe into the back of the neck here. Take the gaze up to the ceiling. Breathe into the stretch in the front of the throat. And then back to center. And we'll just take the right ear over towards the right shoulder. Just feel the length in the side of the neck. Back up to center. And then take the left ear towards the left shoulder. Feel the weight of the head, how it just stretches that muscle in the side of the neck. And back to center. Take the gaze right over to the right. Take the eyes completely to the right and the head. And then take the gaze over to the left. Take the eyes completely to the left. And then back to center. And then just give the head a circle around. Just feel into those cracks and cricks, pops and crackles. And then the other way. So bring the shoulders up to the ears, really squeeze them up and just push them away. Bring them up again and push them away. And then one more time, bring them up again and push them away. That's it. Bring the hands to the sides of the hips and just lengthen the spine, lengthen the crown of the head up to the ceiling, allow the legs to carry on being heavy. Inhale, raise the arms up, maybe take the gaze up to the fingertips. And exhale, feel that lovely width across the body as we bring them down. That's it. Inhale, bringing them back up. And exhale down. And this time we're going to inhale the arms up. And we're just going to bring them down halfway. So first we'll have the palms facing up. And then just turn the arms in the sockets. You're turning the thumbs from one side to the other. And just feel where you can notice that. So move the arms in their sockets. feeling into the shoulders. You can sort of feel it in the upper arm muscles, I think, as well. And bring the palms back to the ceiling. Bring the fingertips to the shoulders and just circle the elbows around. So this throat chakra does sort of spread down to the shoulders and the chest, up to the jaw, of course, with speech and the mouth. And then the other way round. And then just releasing the arms down. Going to bring the arms up again halfway, just feel that lovely length. We're going to inhale here and just exhale, right hand down, present over to the right. Inhale back up. Exhale to the left. That's it. Inhale up. Exhale right. Inhale up. And exhale left. Coming back to center, going to hold it for a couple of breaths over to the right. So just, if it's good on your neck, maybe turn the gaze to face the ceiling, and that just opens up the chest a lot more. Breathe into that left side, feel the intercostal muscles are opening, feel the stretch in the waist maybe. Press the sitting bones to the ground and let the legs be heavy. Next inhale, coming up, bring the arms up again, stretching from fingertips to fingertips. Left hand down and bring the right arm over. Is that the right way? Right hand down over to the left. And maybe take the gaze to the ceiling again. Shoulders away from ears. And just breathing, maybe even feeling the armpit. And then inhaling up, just stretch the arms up, palms to the ceiling, because that just opens up the chest area so nicely. And then bring the hands down. That's it. Interlace the hands and press them forwards and bring them up above the head. And then we're just going to twist to the left, back to center, twist to the right. And back to center, and just press the hands up. Release the arms and bring the arms behind. And I'll just do this from the side actually. This is and just lengthen, interlace the hands behind. Just reach the arms out a bit away from the back. Bring the chin towards the chest, and then just bring the head, just fold forward. You can have we quite often come forward with a straight back. You can arch the back here, you can circle the back. It's more like the crown of the head's coming towards the ground. Just breathe here. Notice that you're sort of quite compressed in the throat area, the thyroid area. Breathe into that, it constricts your breathing a bit. And then come back up to center. Place the hands on the knees. And just circle, gentle circles around the sitting bones. That's it. And then the other way. Coming back to center, just taking a breath here, noticing how you're feeling so far. And then just coming over onto hands and knees, maybe moving the blanket out of the way, or using the blanket as a support if it's nicer for your knees. And we're just going to come to all fours, fingers nicely spread, knees under hips. That's it. First of all, let's just take a couple of breaths, really pressing into the floor and thinking about the front body coming towards, engaging the front body towards the back body. So just being parallel to the ground and just feeling that connection to the ground, with the hands and the shins, the length in the back of the neck. And remember, now it's a really good time to engage the Ujjayi breath, which we've done before, the victorious breath. which, remember, that's the breath where we slightly contract the epiglottis in the throat. So when you're blowing on a mirror or a window, you make that sound. It's breathing, it's called ocean breath sometimes as well. So it's breathing with the mouth shut, but with that sound in the throat. So you're aware of the throat all the time. So we can start to engage that now. So it's just emphasizing the sound a bit. I quite like it being called ocean breath as well, because that really is a bit like, it can remind you of the waves of the sea. Sea being the color of the Vishuddha chakra. So maybe if you're comfortable with engaging that breath, engaging that breath here. So let's do a couple of cat-cows here. So inhale, and let's start with bringing the head up and the throat up and rippling through the spine and looking ahead as we inhale. And then as we exhale, bring the head, the chin to the chest. Let the ripple start from the top of the back up and bringing the hips under last. Inhaling from the head, rippling through the spine, looking forward, not compressing the back of the neck too much, just gently looking forward. Exhaling, bringing the head in, chin to the chest. Curling the spine up, pressing the spine to the ceiling. Couple more of those in your own time, leading with the head and the throat. One more each way. Just keeping going for a minute. I've just got to check what's going on with my computer. That's carrying on. Just one more each way. Sorry about that. And then next time you come up into cow, looking towards the end of the mat, really lengthen the back and take the hips back to the heels. Inhale, coming back up, leading with the crown of the head. We can just stay parallel to the ground. And then exhale, take the hips back to the heels. Next time we're going to inhale and we're going to snake through the ground to come to cobra. So thinking again maybe about leading with the throat. So just pressing the toes into the ground, pressing the hands into the ground. Nice long back of the neck, hugging the elbows into the body. Exhale, lower the crown of the head to the ground, tuck the toes under and take the hips back to the heels. Sweep the hands back and come up to thunderbolt. That's it. And just feel the length here. Take a couple of breaths here. Maybe taking the gaze up to the ceiling, pressing the toes into the ground. And then we're going to sweep the arms down to come into that half camel pose, Ustrasana, which we did last week as well. It really creates energy. Still, it's opening up that throat area. So draw the shoulder blades together, draw the elbows together, and gently look up at the ceiling. Take a breath, a couple of breaths, Ujjayi breaths, victorious breaths into the throat. But filling the whole body. One more inhale. And as you exhale, just sweep the hands round, untuck the toes and lengthen the arms out. Bring the forehead to the ground. Let the body soften. And then we're going to snake along the ground again to come back into that cobra. Hug the elbows in. Press all 10 toes into the ground. Press the hips into the ground. Draw the hands back. Exhale, lower the crown of the head down, tuck the toes under and take the hips to the heels. Press into the hands, lift the hips up. Let's come first downward dog and just take a breath here. Maybe bend each knee loads. So really work into the hips. And then just come to stillness. Just let the head be really heavy now here. Just shake, just nod the head and turn the head. Allow the neck to be long and just completely released. And then roll down onto the knees again. We're going to sweep the arms up, bring back up into that thunderbolt. That's it. Hands behind for one more half camel pose. So just, you can always keep the chin at the chest in this as well if that feels more comfortable for you. So you can open up the front of the body, just keep the chin at the chest. It's whatever feels good for you, or you can look up to the ceiling. Just as you're breathing, take the focus in, hear the sound in the throat. And then just release. I'm going to release the toes and we're going to walk the hands forward. Just release for a moment on the ground. Then let's walk the hands back. We're going to do now what's actually, it's a Taoist movement, and it's for really sort of stimulating the thyroid gland. And we do it kneeling. So if you're comfortable kneeling, good way to support yourself when you're kneeling is you could always put a blanket behind and just sit with it behind your legs. You could always roll it up so it's quite high and bring the knees, I'll show you from the back, bring the feet apart and sit down on it. You could bring the toes like that. If you're comfortable just kneeling back, so just find your comfortable position. It's good in this one to have the toes tucked under, but I know that's quite a strong position for everybody, for some people. This is quite a good one, and you can really make the black, or you could even put a cushion in there as well, or several cushions. You could put cushions underneath the shins. Let me just show you. You could always put the blanket or the cushion under the shin, so you've lifted the ankles up a little bit, and then you could put a cushion or blanket under the thighs. So just get yourself so that you can just be here, because we're going to take 12 breaths. It's very similar to the cat-cow, but the emphasis is much more on the thyroid area. So getting yourselves completely comfortable. We place the hands on the thighs, and it's just creating energy in the thyroid area, which just sits right in that area, it's actually the shape of a butterfly, the thyroid gland. And it's really important because it's the thyroid gland which affects the adrenal glands, which some of the glands which we all burn out our adrenals. So we need to keep it balanced. There's a lot of overactive and underactive. Doing this can help balance it out. So we just hold on to the thighs, and we're just inhaling and arching the back. You can see me when I do that. Inhaling, arching the back and looking up, so really opening that area. And then as we exhale, so it's just like the cat-cows in a way, we exhale all the breath out and really bring the chin to the chest and make a lock there. So let's do 12 of those. So inhaling, really keeping your mind on that area. I'll count. So this is 2. So it doesn't have to be too slow. feel a bit dizzy or anything at any time, though, do stop. So that's halfway. It's really rejuvenating for the spine as well. Two more. Focus really in that throat area. Just come up to neutral, and we're just going to slide the hands down, maybe bring the feet back, nice wide knees, and just come down into child's pose, and just breathe there. Slide forward into cobra. Come onto the forearms, and all we're going to do here is lengthen the legs out after that kneeling. So just lengthen, maybe press into the balls of the feet, take the legs back, maybe shake the leg, turn the legs backwards and forwards. That's it. Bend the knees, take them the legs from side to side. And then lengthen the legs out. Bring the head down to the ground. Let's bring the hands to the sides of the ribs again. Hug the elbows in and come up to cobra. Take a breath there. That's it. Exhale, lower the head down. Tuck the toes under. Take the hips back to the heels. Lengthen the spine. And then let's come up to downward dog. Let the head be heavy and the crown of the head drop towards the floor. So maybe your gaze is coming towards the legs. Let's press into the left hand and then the right hand, the right foot, and then the left foot. And then press into all four. But feel the relaxed feeling in the neck. Let the neck be really released. Maybe take a Ujjayi breath here. And then look between the hands, walk the feet up towards the hands. Just take hold of the elbows, ragdoll. So just feeling the upper body really heavy. Maybe take the body, the weight towards the front of the body. Breathing. Nice long deep breaths, maybe hearing that ocean breath in the throat. Bending the knees, releasing the arms and rolling up to standing. And just noticing how you're feeling once you're up standing, pressing the feet into the ground, lengthening the whole body. So really make that connection with the earth, feeling all 5 toes, not 5 feet, each side of the foot, the heel of the foot, and then engaging the legs, drawing the crown of the head up to the ceiling. That's it. Just feeling our lovely length in Tadasana. And I was thinking about balance actually, and then I was reading up on some of the things about balance, and actually one of the best balance poses we can do is in Tadasana. So quite often we're standing in Tadasana with the feet under the hips. Let's all bring the big toes, big toe joints to join, and the heels are just slightly apart. So it's the big toes that join, and just press into the feet and lengthen here. Crown of the head towards the ceiling. And then just maybe experiment with just closing the eyes. Maybe you can feel movement immediately here, body moving. Just keep that awareness with the feet and the engagement in the legs. Bring your mind to the throat. Visualize that beautiful blue sky, blue ocean colour. And just notice how your body reacts to you just standing here with the feet together. Notice the natural movement that comes into the body. And then just gently open the eyes. Inhale, sweeping the arms up, gazing up to the fingertips. And exhaling, lowering the arms down. Inhaling, raising the arms up. And exhaling down. Then you might have to move the feet a little bit apart to come up, focusing on that spot in front of you, up onto tiptoes. Exhaling down. Up onto tiptoes. And exhaling down. That's it. Let's take the left foot behind, comfortable, do that nice stretch where we bring then the left arm up and take hold of the right wrist and just draw that side open. So you're doing a little bit of a balance here, but you're just pressing in, opening up that left side. Breathe into that whole left side. One more inhale, and then bring the feet together. Notice how maybe the feet feel a bit different once you've done that. Bring the right foot behind, right arm up, really pull the wrist with the left hand and just feel that length. Breathe into that length. Lovely. And then release. Just take a breath standing, noticing how when we're stretching, how everything sort of buzzes around in the body afterwards. Let's stand towards the front of the mat. And just notice as you're moving with it in the poses, just notice if your throat feels open or how your throat feels. As you, particularly as you exhale, just see if you can always soften in the throat. So let's have the feet hip distance apart now. And let's inhale, raise the arms up. Little bend in the knees and exhale, forward fold. Bring the chin towards the chest, the crown of the head towards the ground. Inhale and slide the hands up the shins and bring the body parallel to the ground so the throat is facing the mat. Feel that length in the body. And then exhale back into the forward fold. Press into the feet, bend the knees a lot, sweep the arms back up. Feel the length in each side of the body. Really lengthen here, shoulders nice and low. And then let's bring the arms down in front. Inhale the arms up in front. Feel that length again, particularly in the front body. And then bend the knees, sweep the arms out, swan dive down to forward fold. Crown of the head towards the ground. Sweep the hands up the shins and lengthen. And then exhale, bring the hands towards the ground. Bend the knees as much as you need to bring the hands to the ground. And let's step the left foot back. Lower the knee and untuck the toes. And just feel that length from the crown of the head to the heel, first of all. Bring the hands up to the knee Let's interlace the hands and have those index fingers pointing forward, and just raise the arms up. Maybe take the gaze up to the ceiling. Really press the front foot into the ground and the shin into the ground. And feel that length in the front of the body. And maybe the opening up through the throat. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, bring the hands down. We're going to bring that knee back to just come back to all fours. And we're going to take the left foot out behind and raise it up to singing bird. And either staying here, pressing through the heel, or bringing the right arm in front. And just feeling that length there, breathing there. Lower the hand down, lower the knee down. Tuck the toes under and just take the hips back up, back into downward dog. Just take a couple of breaths here. And then your choice to either come back down to all fours to bring the left foot forward, or just stepping the left foot forward. Bringing the knee down, back knee down. That's it. First of all, feeling that length again. Let's put the opposite thumb on top when we interlace the fingers, the one that feels a bit weird. Index fingers pointing up, and bring the arms up. Press now into the left foot and the right shin. Really feel the opening in the armpits when we do this. Inhale here. Exhale, bring the hands down to the ground. Tuck the back toes under and step the foot forward into Uttanasana, forward fold. Really allow the head, doesn't matter where you are, but just let the head come towards the ground, the crown of the head. So you're just looking towards, the gaze is towards the legs. Bend the knees, sweep the arms up to the sides, reach through the body, press into the ground. Let's bring the palms together down to heart center. And just take a breath here. Is it lovely? Inhale, press the palms together and bring the palms up through the center of the body to above the head. Maybe just lean back a bit. Just open up the throat area and the chest. And then as we exhale, this time we're going to press the palms together and bring them all the way down the front of the body. Fold over as they come down and come into the forward fold like that. Crown of the head to the ground. Inhale, sweep the hands up the shins and lengthen the spine out. Shoulders away from the ears. That's it. And then bend the knees as much as you need to bring the hands to the ground. And we're going to step the right foot back this time. We're going to leave, if it's comfortable, we're going to leave the knee up. You can always bring it down if that feels better for you. But if you can keep the knee up, that's really great, and the thigh up. And we're going to press the right hand into the ground and raise the left arm up. Gaze up at the thumb and just breathing there. One more inhale. Bring the hand down, lower the knee down, and we're going to bring that left knee back. We're going to bring the right foot out behind and raise that up to come into that singing bird this side. Remember, you can always leave the hand down if you want to, or stretch up. Feel that lovely length from fingertips to heel. Gazing at the mat, nice long back of the neck. And then exhale, lower the hand down, lower the knee down. That's it. Take the hips back to the heels. Tuck the toes under and back up the downward dog. Fingers beautifully spread, heels reaching towards the ground, hips reaching towards the back of the mat. Breathe into the space in the armpits, space across the back. And then your choice again, either come down to the knees to bring the right leg forward, or just step the right leg forward. That's it. Remember, when leaving the knee up, feel that Length from the crown of the head to the heel. Press into that back heel. And then press the left hand into the ground and raise the right arm up. Nice twist, nice strong twist. Bring the knee down if it's more comfortable. Just going to look at you all, that's it. And just breathing there, lovely opening across the chest. Inhale here. Exhale, bring the hand down. And then just stepping that back foot forward, back into the Uttanasana. Crown of the head to the floor, chin to the chest. Bend the knees and we'll just sweep the arms up in front. Reach up. And then exhale, lower the arms down. And take a breath. That's just taking a breath here. We'll move in to warrior one. So let's step the left foot back again, first time. So remember finding that nice base, steady base. Back foot at about 45 degrees, front foot straight in front, hips in line with the front of the mat. So remember I bring the knee, the hands at the hips can sort of guide that nice feeling. Let's bring the arms out to the sides for a change in warrior one and just take a couple of breaths there, pressing into the feet and maybe taking the gaze up towards the sort of seam of the ceiling and the wall, if that feels comfortable. Just take a couple of breaths here, bringing the focus back to that throat center, the seat of communication, seat of truthfulness. Let's bring the arms up and interlace the hands again, index fingers pointing up. Really press the feet away from each other, hips even. Ujjayi breath here. Inhale here. And just exhale, bring the hands down. And we're just going to step the foot up to the front of the mat. That's it. Just notice if there's difference between each side of the body. We'll just notice what's going on. Just without making any judgments or just noticing and witnessing. Let's step the right foot back, finding your steady base, noticing the throat again, and if it's feeling open or constricted. Hands on the hips to find that the hips are facing forward. That's it. And then bringing the arms out, palms facing towards the ceiling again. And just feel that lovely expanse there. So just breathing there, a couple of breaths there. Pressing the feet apart, but keeping the hips in line, together. Listen to the breath passing through the throat. Sweep the palms up together, interlace the hands, index fingers pointing up, Shakti Mudra, and just really pressing into the feet. Feel that strength in the legs, and just the gentle length in the arms. Maybe take the gaze up to the ceiling, and just tune back into that ocean breath. Letting the mind rest on the breath. One more inhale. And then exhale, bring the hands down and step forward again. So let's just circle the hips around a bit here. It's quite nice to just do a bit more of a fluid move after we've been holding static poses. And then round the other way. That's it, lovely. And then coming to stand on the long side of the mat. with the feet wide. So outer edges of the feet in line with the outer edges of the mat. And pressing into the feet. First of all, for 5-pointed pose. So just breathing out. We're going to do the same sort of thing. So we're just going to breathe in the warrior 2. So holding the pose for a bit longer, which is really strengthening for us as well. And maybe keeping the focus in the throat and noticing what's going on in the throat, if it's feeling open and not constricted. So just pressing into the feet and sort of releasing any tension in the throat. And let's bring the arms out. Just first of all, just feel the head balancing on the top of the spine, feel the length between the fingertips. Let's start by turning the left toes out and bending that front knee. So you can always wiggle those front toes out a bit. Remember, we always want the knee over the ankle or behind it, not in front of it. So just to protect the knee, outer edge of the back foot in line with the outer edge of the mat, hips in line with the long edge of the mat. And then just sink into the pose. So we take the gaze over the front middle finger. Let's come back to our Ujjayi breath here. See if with every exhalation you can just release or soften a little bit more. One more breath here. And then straighten the leg, hands to the hips, back to neutral. That's it. Let's just slide the hands down the legs, come into a forward fold, take hold of the elbows, just bend each knee and just maybe do a figure of 8 with the arms. So just swinging from side to side. So yes, I forgot to say that the element for this chakra last week is air. So thinking about, let's sweep our hands back up. So thinking about air and lightness, and it's, quite the breath going through the throat, ether, thinking about space, creating space in the body, creating space around us. Let's turn the right toes out. Really feel that you can feel the outer edge of the front foot and press into the root of the big toe. Bend that front leg, press into the outer edge of the back foot, but also the root of the big toe. Just notice how, when you stop, just release pressing into the ground for a minute and notice the difference it makes to the legs. And then engage them again, pressing the feet into the ground. Keeping that engagement in the legs, let's bring the arms out, reach from fingertips to fingertips, and gazing over that front middle finger. Just notice if you're holding in the jaw or the throat or the neck here, or the shoulders, and allow particularly that whole top half to really soften, and we're keeping the legs really strong. Notice how your breath is. If it's not laboured, if it's coming easily, maybe using the Ujjayi breath. One more breath. Next inhale, straighten that front leg, bring the hands to the hips and slide the hands down the legs again. This time just let the arms drop towards the ground and just loosen the body up, loosen the knees, maybe swing the arms well again. Just maybe walk the hands a bit through the legs, just be really soft. And then we're just going to bend the knees and come back up to standing. That's it. And step the feet together. Just notice how you're feeling, how the legs are feeling. Taking a breath there. Let's stand towards the front of the mat. And let's sweep the arms up again in front. And then let's really lengthen the spine as we exhale and come down into that into forward fold. Last Uttanasana. Inhale, sweep the hands up the shins and lengthen the spine. And exhale, come back down to the forward fold. Bending the knees as much as you need to place the hands on the floor. We're going to step both feet back to downward dog. So however you come into downward dog, that's it. And just take a breath here. We're going to inhale forward to plank. Press into the ground, press into the feet, press into the heels, that's it. And then just lower the knees, lower the chest to the ground. Let's just do a cobra here first. So press into all 10 toes, draw the shoulders down, nice long back of the neck, and then lower the head down. Bring the hands on top of each other, crocodile, just for a breath. Allow everything to settle towards the ground. So all that gravity, allow the organs to drop towards the ground, the skeleton. Just let the body surrender onto the earth. Let's take each foot towards the corner of the mat. So we're just lengthening the legs out, bring them slightly wider, and then come up onto the forearms. Elbows just in front of the shoulders, only very slightly. Fingers really spread again, Sphinx pose. Drawing the shoulder blades towards each other. So we're gently pulling on the arms. Let's let the legs and the hips be really loose and relaxed. We don't need to put any effort into the legs here. And let's all take our focus again into our throat chakra, center of communication. Maybe bring the Ujjayi breath back here. Couple more breaths. Nice energetic back bend, energizing, not energetic, energizing back bend. And then lowering the head down to the ground. Bring the legs back towards each other so they're just coming out directly from the hips. And we're just going to press into the hands and come back into child's pose. The legs are a bit close together. And from here, we're going to come into, just take a breath actually in child's pose, but we've got the knees more in line with the hips than out wide. Doesn't matter if you're a bit further up. And we're going to come into what's called rabbit pose. So we actually take the hands behind to the heels or to the shins if you don't reach the heels. And then we just bring the chin to the chest and we just roll on to the head and we lift the hips up while holding onto the heels. So it's a bit of a shoulder stretch. And it's an inversion, so we're having the heart above the head, which is really good for the head. I'm just going to take a look at you. That's it. So we're rolling. So if you start just in child's pose and sweep the arms back, and then you think about rolling over the forehead onto the crown of the head, lifting the heels, lifting the hips. And then you can bring the chin to the chest. You can always squeeze the head in a bit more, so you're really on the top of the head. It's a bit constricting on the throat, so we're massaging the thyroid again here. we bring attention to this area. Maybe employ the Ujjayi breath here, the ocean breath. Just a couple more breaths. And then release back. Let's just come up to seated and we'll sweep our legs forward. And just hug the legs and bring the forehead down towards the knees. And breathe into the back of the body. So you can always rest the chin on the, rest the cheeks on the knees. Breathe into the back of the body, and that's it. Lovely. And just lengthening the legs out here. Remember, always put the, you can always sit on the edge of a blanket here to lengthen, to bring the pelvis a bit further forward. And let's just bring the hands to the thighs. And just take a couple of breaths here. So really feeling, being aware of that angle, the body being at a right angle. Let's really release the shoulders, soften the throat, really soften the jaw. Allow the head to really just balance naturally at the top of the spine, shoulders to release. Follow in your mind the really nice natural curve of the back. And just breathing here. And then we're just going to reach the arms up. Really inhale, press the back of the legs into the ground, lengthen the spine. And then we're just going to exhale, lengthen down to wherever you come. And then bring the chin to the chest and just breathe into the back of the body. Lengthening the lower back. Breathing into the whole length of the spine, and particularly breathing into the back of the lungs. And then walking the hands up the legs, give the legs a little bit of a massage. Walk the legs, hands back up. And then we're going to do, oh, actually, let's bring the hands behind first of all and really lengthen, press into the hands and lengthen the spine and open up the chest and think back. You can have the chin tucked in here as well as we're pressing into the throat. Point the toes. Inhale, really feel that length. You can just stay here breathing. This is a really beautiful opening. Or you can inhale here and exhale, lift the hips up. And just take a couple of breaths there. Chin to chest. It's better to have the chin to the chest. You could bring the head back, but it is sort of safer for the neck. And then lower the legs down. And just release the arms, shake the shoulders about. And then another nice pose to do here, and I always forget the name, actually it is mongoose pose, which I think is quite funny. And in Sanskrit, it's Nakalasana. It's Nakalasana. So that's an interesting name. So we have the legs coming directly out of the hips again. We bring the hands back like we had them before we lifted the hips. But this time, we're just sort of curling the back. It's a really beautiful shoulder opener. And we bring the chin towards the chest and we just lower down. Notice how it's opening up the sort of tops of the shoulders. So bend the elbows and just let the body sink. Draw the elbows slightly towards each other. Come back to that Ujjayi breath. Let the head, just let the head. You can bring the head back, but it sort of compresses the back of the neck. So I think it's much more comfortable to just have the chin into the chest. So just breathe. Take the breath into the shoulders here. And then just press into the hands. Walk the hands back. That's it. Let's just do a little twist here. So let's just cross the left leg over the right, long legs. Bring the right hand round to the right thigh. Is that right? Left thigh. And bring the left hand behind. Just a nice gentle twist here. And let's just turn the head from side to side so that we're not stretching too much in the neck. And then gently look towards the left shoulder and just use that right hand to just twist, just maybe deepen the twist in the waist. Take the breath down to the navel. And then back to center. Uncross the legs, just feel into the body. And then we cross the right leg over the left. Lengthen the spine. Left hand comes to the right thigh, right hand behind the right buttock. Feel that length. And then look towards the right shoulder. Feel the twist in the waist. Press the legs into the ground. Maybe turn the head a couple of times backwards, forwards. Make sure the neck and the jaw, the throat are relaxed. And then feel the breath going right down to the abdomen, massaging the whole digestive system. Breathing there. And then coming back to center. Bringing the legs down, and now having your belt or scarf handy, but we're going to come to lying down onto our backs. Let's just take a couple of breaths in the constructive rests. Just let the knees drop in. Allow the body to settle on its back now. Just check. So also with this, need to think about listening. So listening also encourages us to listen to ourselves. So we're listening to our bodies all the way through the practice. Listening to whether we're pushing ourselves too hard or maybe not pushing ourselves enough. So that's, you know, another thing to think about here. Let's walk the feet in to hip distance apart. We're going to do a nice bridge pose here with the belt, where the belt or the scarf, just bring the knees towards the chest, just bring the belt or scarf around the ankles, and then bring the feet back to the ground. And first of all, and then just lay back down so that you're holding the belt quite tight. So you're really pressing the feet into the ground and pulling on the belt. Press the feet, feel that the hips are even on the back of the ground. Feel that the shoulder blades are even. Feel the back of the head, feel the nice length in the back of the neck. Keep the legs really parallel. So you're really pressing into the root of the big toe, the root of the little toe and the heel. And then we're going to inhale and pull, we're just pulling the belt as we raise the hips up and we bring the chest to the chin. So inhale up and then exhale down, keeping the legs as still as possible. That's it. Inhaling up again. And exhaling back down. And one more time. Inhaling, really press the whole of the feet into the ground. And inhale up. Feel that length. Let's hold it there for a breath. So feel that length from the knees to the chest. Feel the breath being slightly restricted in the throat. And then release the hips down. So release the belt or the scarf, whatever you're using, to the side. Bring the feet out as wide as the mat. Bring the arms out wide and just take the knees from side to side. Release the lower back. Maybe circle the wrists around a bit. Release the wrists from holding the belt. That's it. Bring the feet back to centre. Let me see what time is. That's it. Bring the feet back to centre. Let's bring both knees to the chest. Rock from side to side. Let's bring the feet above the head just for a minute and circle the feet around the ankles and maybe the other way. And then just release the legs down. And for final relaxation, I was going to give you two choices. So it's your choice. You could put your legs up the wall and maybe even raise the hips. Like you could always put a blanket. I think you can see me there. If I put, it's a white blanket. You could put a blanket there. You could either do, and bring the legs up the wall. So you just slightly raise the hips. So you could either do that, or another nice thing to do is get the blanket. So see about how wide mine is. Actually, I want to open it up a bit. So when it's open to about that length, I roll it up like this. So it's sort of like small bolster. And I put it on the mat. And then I have it right at sort of my sacrum, right up against my bottom, but it's quite squidgy. And then lie back, and the head is just slightly releasing. So you can see that the front of my throat, my neck's not too compressed. And you could just bring the soles of the feet together, or you could just lie there with the legs out. So coming into whichever position, or if you just want to be, that just is a really lovely opening for the throat, as is being up against the wall with the legs up the wall. So all of you just choose where you would like to go. Or you just want to have your legs over a bolster or something. But these two are just particularly good for keeping the throat open. So you can always get the bottom up against the wall and then bend the knees and then pull the blanket under you afterwards. Lift the hips and pull them. That's it. Like that. That's it. That's good. Okay, so just get yourself settled. Whoops. So just getting yourself settled, whichever position you've chosen. Allowing everything to settle. Allow the body to settle. Allow the bones to all settle towards the ground. Allow all the muscles to peel away from the bones and release. We're going to do nice meditation here. Really feel the skin release and soften. And then bring your minds to the breath. The last breath we're actually going to do here is lion's breath. And then we're going to do a nice meditation called an ether meditation. So another really fantastic breath for relieving stress. And we're usually relieving anxiety, but also cleansing the breath, cleansing the lungs, getting rid of energy, is lion's breath. And how we do this is we inhale in through the nose, and then we open the mouth, we stick the tongue out and take the tongue down towards the chin, and we take our gaze towards the end of the nose. And we do a really loud, and that's very cleansing. So let's just do 3 of those before we do the meditation. So let's inhale in through the nose. Inhale in. And one more time. Release the jaw, release the face. Soften the throat. Soften the whole front of the body. Release the back of the body against the ground. Allow the back of the body to surrender to the ground. And just visualize the sky and the color of the sky. And just think about the blue of the sky. And just visualize that color blue in your throat center, in your Vishuddha chakra. Notice your breath here, settling back after the lion's breath. You're exhaling tension from the body. And you're inhaling strength. Inhaling nourishing. And exhaling cleansing. Inhaling energizing. And exhaling relaxing. Be aware of the parts of your body that are in contact with the ground, and direct your breath there into those areas for a while. You may experience a feeling of heaviness or lightness. Just notice what you're feeling as you direct your breath into the back of the body against the earth. And now bring your attention to the left side of your body and just feel all of your energy radiating towards the left side of the body. Just send your breath to your left leg, your arm, your neck, your cheek, and the left temple. And really feel yourself sort of expanding to the left. And next, turn your attention to the whole right side of your body and feel your energy radiating there. Direct your breath again into the right side of the body. Sending your breath to the right leg, arm, neck, cheek, and right temple. And really feel yourself expanding to the right. And now be aware of the back of your body and feel your energy radiating from the bottom to the top. From your seat, up through your back and your arms to the nape of the neck and the back of the head. And send breath into these parts and experience a sense of maybe radiating backwards and expanding backwards. And next, feel the front of the body. Notice the front of the legs, your abdomen and chest, front of the arms, and your throat and your face. And send your breath into these parts of the body. Feel the energy radiating to these parts of the body, and then feel yourself expanding towards the front. And then finally feel yourself expanding in all directions. So from the bottom to the top, out from the front, out of the back, out to the sides, to the left side, to the right side. And just repeating to yourself, maybe, I am at one with the universe. I am one with the universe. And just releasing the practice. If you've got the legs up the wall, just releasing the legs and just wiggling around, just so that you can lie flat. And if you've got anything under your back, removing anything under your back, just lying flat for a moment. Just taking a moment lying flat to just even out the body. That's it. Noticing the breath here, just allowing the body to adjust to lying down. And then just slowly beginning to bring your attention and focus back to this morning. Just wiggle the toes. Maybe move the fingers, feel the fingertips with the edges of the thumbs. Move the head from side to side. And then when you're ready, just bending the knees, placing the feet flat on the floor. Keeping the eyes at half gaze or closed, rolling over onto your side. And coming up to seated. That's it. Just any position, just find a comfortable position. And I just thought I'd read you something that Rumi wrote before we finish. So Rumi said, before you speak, let your words pass through three gates. At the first gate, ask yourself, is it true? At the second gate, ask, is it necessary? And at the third gate, ask, is it kind? So just taking a breath here and just noticing how you're feeling after the practice, emotionally, mentally, and physically. Let's bring the palms of the hands together and really give them a good rub, really create a nice lot of energy and heat. Place the palms over the eyes, cup the eyes, let that energy be absorbed. And then bringing the hands down to heart center and bowing to the divine light in each other and ourselves. Thanking ourselves for doing the practice. And then gently opening the eyes. And I hope you've all benefited from the practice today. Have a good week, everybody. Thank you for coming. Bye.
Thank you,
Bye,
Mary.
Mary.
Thank you.
Bye, Mary. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good week,
Bye.
everybody. Last session for a week next week. Okay?
Yeah.
And then we have a week off.
Okay. Thanks.
Thank you, Mary.
Have a good week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye,
Bye.
Mary. Thank you.
See you all soon. See you next week.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, Mary.
Maybe see you in the park tomorrow, Chrissy.
Brilliant. Okay, let's do that.
How are you doing?
Yeah, all right. I had to turn it off because I had the baby through some of it.
Oh, right. Okay. You're going to pick Blake up now?
I might do. I'll see what they're doing. It's Charlotte's birthday tomorrow, so I'm going to run out and get her a present.
Oh, God, okay. Oh.
Yeah. When are they getting married?
Saturday.
Oh, fabulous.
Yeah, so it's all sort of like, I've got to go and do food shopping now.
Yeah, of
Doing all
course.
yeah, I've got to go. We still got the plan. And her granddad died Sunday.
Oh,
Which is a
no.
bit, and then her dad is in Israel, and it's touch and go whether he's going to get here because he lives in Tel Aviv. So fingers crossed, because if her dad can't come, she's going to be blooming devastated.
Oh, let's fingers crossed.
So fingers crossed. Planes are flying, so hopefully.
Yeah.
Are you going to be in the park tomorrow?
Yeah, I can be. Yeah, I can be in the park. What's tomorrow? Oh, what time?
Well, what time are you around?
Morning.
Yeah.
All right for you.
Yeah.
What? 10?
Yeah, 10.
Brilliant. Okay.
Is that
cool.
good? And then we could just have a quick coffee and a catch up.
Quick coffee and
Charlotte's birthday. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay.
See you later. Have a good day. Lots of love.
Also you.